It's an interesting topic. I'm kind of flipping things on upside down because I want to talk about the worst keto advice you've ever gotten. The worst. Like, what are the most terrible, awful, ridiculous things people have said to you? I am dying to know. Even if it's just bad advice, type in the comments. I'm curious what type of awful advice people have told you about the keto diet. So let's take a look at them. I have 10 on my list of things that I just hear over and over again. And sadly, not everybody knows that this is bad advice. So sometimes people hear these things and they go, oh, well, so-and-so said that, so must be true. No, not always true. So I want to identify 10 very common myths that I hear online and on social media. And in my opinion, share why I think it's terrible advice. I think that's funny. It's kind of a fun way to approach the topic. So please type in the comments terrible advice that you have heard, because I'm curious if your terrible advice matches my list. So number 1, this is the first piece of terrible advice that I think is quite prevalent. You ready? I have show and tell. People say, number 1, you have to buy a ton of keto specialty items. I'm putting out these moon cheese or cheese wisps as an example. People assume, and they'll tell you, well, if you're going to start keto, you have to go buy all this special stuff. And a lot of it's really expensive. So that can be intimidating, especially when you're new. You're like, okay, well, do I have to go buy all this stuff? You know, what if they don't sell it in my neighborhood? What if I live in Canada? What if I live in a rural area? What if I don't have the money for all that garbage? What if that doesn't even look good to me? That is all correct. You don't have to have any of this stuff. These are like convenience store treats. You're going to see bread. You're going to see cheese whips. You'll see desserts. People put the word keto on it, and then it becomes a marketing ploy. So when you start seeing expensive like keto convenience foods advertised or people bragging about them online, I want you to go, no, thank you. They're tasty, don't get me wrong. But it's not mandatory. And I think that's the bad advice people give, is they think they have to do it. And they don't. So that's number 1. Let's move on to number 2. This one cracks me up. It's terrible advice, but people will say, oh, you can't use that sweetener. I'm holding up a giant box of Splenda. People get all crazy about sweeteners. Sugar-free sweeteners is what I'm talking about. They get crazy. And they're like, oh, you can't use that. That's not keto approved. That's the phrase that people will start using. That's not keto. That's not keto approved. You can't use Splenda. Well, really? Why not? I think that's bad advice. Why can't you use what you like? Now, I put a few examples in here. A lot of people like monk fruit. Good. I'm happy for you. I like it too. This is Laska brand. I also have Swerve in here. These are delicious and fun to use in baking. There's also another one here. This one's funny because you can see my price tag. It's $1. I shop on the cheap, you can tell. But this is allulose. So there's a ton of different choices out there when it comes to sugar-free sweeteners. And I don't want anyone to ever tell you, that's not keto. You can't use that. That one's good. That one's bad. This one, blah, blah, blah. No, this is what you have to do. And I'm going to do a whole episode on this coming up. I want you to figure out the one that you like, that works on your budget, that tastes good to you, and that's accessible in your neighborhood. And I want you to use that one. And tell everybody else. Okay? Seriously, don't let people tell you something's keto approved or not keto approved. You have to do what's right for you. Personally, I know you're curious. I use all of this stuff depending on the situation and depending on, you know, the product, or if I'm baking or cooking or having coffee or whatever. That's just my opinion. I think it's bad advice to tell people they have to use one thing and telling you it's keto approved. Number 3, this happens a lot where people say, oh, on keto, You can eat as much fat as you want. You can go crazy. You can have heavy whipping cream mixed with sugar-free Jell-O and eat a whole bucket of it. Have you seen that one? You will see that online all the time, especially folks that are new to keto. I'm not trying to make fun of them. However, I think it's bad advice. That's my opinion. I think that eating a cup of heavy whipping cream mixed with Jell-O or mixed with any dessert or even poured into your coffee, I think it's way too much. And that's why on the Dirty Lazy Keto Pyramid, the food pyramid, which is in all of my books, I'm sure you have one of them. In all of the books, there's a Dirty Lazy Keto Pyramid, and at the tippy top is dairy. And I recommend that you have not as much dairy as all the other things. At the bottom of the food pyramid, that's where I talk about eating healthier fats, eating healthier proteins, eating low-carb vegetables, but you can take a look. But you'll notice the dairy, such as cream and such as cream cheese, these are all dairy. Those are to be used in moderation. So when people tell you, oh, you can have as much as you want, blip, 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 that's terrible advice. The reason it's terrible is these foods are extremely caloric. So that means it has a lot of calories. All right. Now, mind you, people will say, oh, well, this only has 1 gram of net carb per tablespoon. That's true. However, it also has 50 calories per teaspoon. Teaspoon's teeny tiny. That's like the size of your thumb. Nail, right? Like teeny tiny. I don't count calories, but I have common sense. And that tells me not to consume boatloads of heavy whipping cream or boatloads of cream cheese. And I love it. And I eat it. Don't get me wrong. I eat both of these. I eat them every day, but I eat them in moderation. And I eat smaller amounts compared to all the other foods that I eat. Keep that in mind, because that's bad advice telling you to eat as much as you want. In fact, my personal advice when it comes to fat is to use fat to make healthy food taste better. That's my motto. I'm standing by it. That's really good advice, even if I said so myself. All right, let's move on. Number 4. You know, this is pretty common when people have like a cheat day or a lapse or a relapse, or they're struggling, or just, you know, being human, right? Because we've all been there. But a lot of folks will say, oh, the cure to get back on track, the cure to fix everything in your world is to go on an egg fast. They will tell you, this is terrible advice, they will tell you to eat eggs all day, every day, for days upon days upon days. Please don't do that. That is so gross. First of all, you will grow to hate eggs. It's like being in college and having too much tequila. It's a bad situation. Plus, you're going to have gas. You're going to have a tummy ache. It's just not, for me, this is why. For me, this goes back to the old days when we were all, don't get me wrong, we all did this back in the like 80s when we did weird diets like the cabbage diet and the, you know, the Nutrisystem shake diet and the Jenny Craig, you know, frozen meal diet and all these, you know what I mean? It felt bad. Like you felt bad about yourself because you could only eat one thing or a limited amount of foods. And then you felt awful. And then you ended up quitting. That's not what Dirty Lazy Keto is all about. So if someone's telling you to go on an egg fast, tell them thumbs down. I think you can get back on track by just eating normal food, the next meal, the next snack. And sure, it might take a little time, but that's real life. And that's the big picture. You will survive and you will do better overall when you just start making good choices, little choices, one after the next, after the next. It's pretty simple. There's no magic cure. There's no egg fast cure. Mark my words. Plus a stinky gas. I hope I made you laugh. Okay, number 5. I think bad advice for people is to tell you that you must do fasting. Must. When people say you have to do fasting. You have to, you know, not eat for a day or two. That's terrible advice. Anytime people say you must do something, I kind of question it a little bit. Or if someone says intermittent fasting. Now that's a little different. If they say intermittent fasting is good or bad, or fasting is good or bad. The bad advice that I see there is when they say you must do it. It's not that it's good or bad. I also don't like when people say intermittent fasting, you have to do it. You have to stop eating at a certain time, and you can't start eating until the next day, and you have to, and all those rules with intermittent fasting or with fasting. The rules to me are bad advice. I think you need to figure out a way to do the intermittent fasting or the fasting if it works for you. Nobody else. If it works for you, do it on your own terms and tell other people that force you to do stuff their way. Tell them that's bad advice. Tell them I said so. I'll take all the heat because you know they'll yell at me. I'm sure they will. Number 6. This one's common. It's usually these weird salespeople that like sneak into Facebook groups, but they'll talk about ketones. They'll talk about used by, there's brands out there like Pruvit, I'm probably not even saying it right, but they'll say, oh, you have to buy these ketone drinks. They're expensive. It's a, what do you call that? MLM, multi-level marketing scheme. Usually those people who start these fake conversations in Facebook or anywhere online, they'll say, oh, I've heard ketones make you lose weight faster. And oh, I lost all this weight because I was using ketones. And they'll start these fake conversations hoping that you'll reach out to them and say, how'd you do it? And then before you know it, you're on some monthly payment plan. Terrible advice. Okay, terrible advice. They're a complete waste of money. This is someone's get-rich-quick scheme. These people are making a ton of money off of your insecurities and your fears, and that's not right. That is bad advice, and it should be, I don't know, outlawed. So whenever you see people doing that, especially if you're in one of my Facebook groups, report them immediately because I will kick them out. I don't believe in it. I don't support it at all. I don't use them, and I don't like those people. Sorry, but that's bad advice. What I think you should do instead is go to the grocery store and get some normal groceries from normal stores. Here's my Safeway bag. I shop at Walmart. I shop at a lot of discount stores. You just need real food. You don't need a ketone drink. You do not. You just need real food from normal people's stores. Nothing special, nothing fancy required. This is how I lost 140 pounds, by eating real food. And real food that my family eats too. It's not like I'm out there eating some specialty weird stuff. Just regular old food. It's true. That's bad advice if they tell you to drink ketones. Tell them that. Next up, number 7. Isn't this fun? It's kind of fun to talk about what not to do. It's like a negative example. I think a lot of folks will tell you, especially when you're new, they'll say, oh, you're new, you're doing keto. That must mean you're putting MCT oil on your food or in your coffee. You're eating this every day. You have to, you have to, you have to. No, you do not have to. No, you don't. I bought some because I was curious. You know, everyone kept talking about it. And I had it a couple times and I'm like, I thought it was horrible. Like, first of all, to me, it tasted awful. I had like a greasiness in my mouth for days. It was like I'd sucked on a loaf of bacon. Furthermore, this can be very explosive. People have reported having horrible bouts of diarrhea, stomach cramping, indigestion, you know, not being able to leave the house or go to work because it really does a number on you. So if you want to use it, that's fine. No one's saying it's bad or good. I'm just saying if someone tells you you have to, that is bad advice. You need to do you. If you like the taste and you want to put it in your coffee or you want to put it on your avocados, a lot of people do that. Good for you. But don't listen to folks that say you have to. That's where I get irritated. I don't like the have-tos. I like to break the rules. You guys know that, right? But hey, this is what worked for me, so that's why I'm sharing it with you. Number 8. This one, I hope will make you laugh because I want to go all in for you. Okay, you ready? Yep. You might have to close your eyes. This is number 8. Okay, I'm going to turn around and surprise you. Number 8. The Keto Police. The Keto Police. They are going to tell you, that's not keto. That's not keto. You can't have this. You can't have that. No, you can't. Yes, you can. Do not listen to the Keto Police. They are the worst. They give terrible advice. It is all thumbs down when it comes to Keto Police. You know what? If you like, let's say watermelon, for example, because I talk about that in this book right here, Dirty Lazy Keto, Get Started Losing Weight While Breaking All the Rules. I use watermelon as an example because so many people in my Facebook groups talk about watermelon. I don't know what it is. People love the stuff. But they'll say like, oh, I can't have it because somebody said it was too high in carbs. Well, for who? Like, is watermelon that bad? It's not really that bad. It might be higher in carbs for fruit when compared to, let's say, strawberries. But if it's important to you, I think you should find a way to enjoy it. You might have watermelon flavored sugar-free water, or you might have a little bit of dang watermelon. You get the point. You need to do what's right for you. Don't listen to the Keto Police. Call them out when you see them. Tell them thumbs down. Tell them to go away, because that's bad advice. Anything the Keto Police have to say is not worth listening to. I look kind of good in this hat. I might wear it longer. No, I'm just kidding. I've been waiting all day for that. See, it's the little things that make me happy. I want to entertain you as much as help you and inspire you. I just don't think this should be that difficult and complicated. But here's the problem: when there's so many people out there telling you to do terrible stuff and giving you bad advice, it can get very confusing. I get that. Number 9, this one I'm hearing a lot lately. People go on social and they say, oh, the trick to losing weight is cheating. Carb cycling, or eating high carb foods for a whole day and then going back to dirty lazy keto. And I'm all, what? Where are they getting this from? In my opinion, that is not good advice. I don't recommend having huge cheat days or meals or any of that stuff. And there's a lot of reasons why, but for me, emotionally, it puts me on the wrong path. And I personally have huge issues when it comes to being addicted to sugar. I love it. I love high carb foods. And if I get a little taste for it, even if I'm just, having a little bite, for me, it just puts me in a snowball wrong direction. And it's taken me a long time to figure this out, but they're just not going to work for me. So if someone's telling you to break a stall or to help you lose weight to start eating garbage again, the stuff that made you feel gross in the first place, I would argue to question that advice and to rethink it. Sometimes common sense needs to play in, kind of like drinking, a gallon of heavy whipping cream. Like, it seems like a great idea, and it's like, wow, that tastes really good. I want to do that. And somebody told me to, kind of like, wow, someone told me to eat chocolate cake to lose weight. Like, come on. We have to use our brains a little bit and recognize kind of bad advice when you hear it, because that is certainly, in my opinion, not good keto advice. So lastly, I want to share with you the final tip, which I hear quite a bit. And I think I don't know what the deal is. I shouldn't assume why they're saying this, but I hear people say keto is only safe in the long term, or they say it's not safe at all. Have you guys heard that? I hear that sometimes, and I just think it's the worst advice ever. I mean, granted, I'm not a doctor, but this is what I want to say to them. I want to put on my little sash and say, hello. Here we go. This is my another year of fabulous. You like that? I'm gonna wear it all day. Another year of fabulous. Like, I started eating this way, close to a decade now, and I've kept my weight off. Now that it'll be 2021, that'll be like 8 years. That's forever. That is forever. And I'm not doing anything bad to my body. I mean, what was I doing when I was eating Pop-Tarts? Did anyone call my house then and like get all worried about me? When I was eating like Applejack cereal, in the car driving around, and eating multiple pieces of carrot cake and bowls of Cheetos at night and 5 gallons of popcorn at the movies. Was anyone concerned about me then? No, they weren't. So why are they saying such bad advice to people now, saying keto's not safe. Like, I don't get that at all. I think that's terrible advice. For me, if you're really following Dirty Lazy Keto the way that I recommend, in the food pyramid, and it's in all of the books, how I recommend, you're eating so many fruits and vegetables. How can that be bad? Like, that makes no sense to me. So thumbs down to that advice, in my opinion. And if anyone ever questions me, I always say, oh, really? Let me show you my before and after picture. Yeah, I don't know. Seems like your advice might not be so good, because here I lost 140 pounds and I'm healthier than I've ever been in my entire life. So, sure you got your facts straight, ma'am? I'm not sure where that's coming from, but if you hear that, I want you to give that a thumbs down and not listen to them, because that is terrible, terrible advice. I mean, the big picture here, friends, is that starting the keto diet, or even continuing when you're relatively new, it can feel very intimidating, and I understand that. This journey is going to be full of self-doubt. That's no joke. I mean, I know that's going to happen, but having these experts, quote unquote experts, telling you bad advice, it can really lead you astray. So I hope that some of the advice, quote unquote, that I called out today as BS, I hope that helps you identify maybe how to part the ways and to listen to the people that matter. Because if they really love you and care about you, they're going to give you the advice that will help you become a healthier person and will help you be more active, to be more healthy, to go to the doctor and be proud of yourself for jumping on the scale, for playing with your grandkids. Those people need to support you to be the best version of you possible. So I hope that helps. Continue to support one another, because this is not easy. We need to help one another in the Dirty Lazy Keto community. We got to stick together, my friends, and tell each other the right answers and not take people down the wrong path. Life's too short. I don't think you need to be perfect to be successful, and I think that's why Dirty Lazy Keto works so well. So yeah, call out those people for what they are, and you can do this your way. That's the way that's going to actually last forever. So I know you can do it. I know you can. Wanted to say thank you for listening. I appreciate your support. This is a community, Dirty Lazy Keto. We have to help each other. We're in this together, my friends. It's not easy, is it? We got to support one another. So if you found today's video to be helpful, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and then subscribe to the Dirty Lazy Keto YouTube channel. Turn on your notifications so you'll never miss an update. You can also find me on Instagram at Dirty Lazy Keto. And for more information about any of my support groups or any of my books, you can always go to dirtylazyketo.com for more information. I'm here to support you. I'm here to help. I know you can do it.